Hello again. Welcome to the first session in the section on morphosyntactic structures of our series on Old Albanian. In this video, I will introduce you to the main usage types of the verb in Albanian. Let's first take a look at our roadmap. First, I will give you a survey of the verbal categories of Albanian. Then we will have a look at tense and aspect, followed by voice of the verb, then some slides on moods, and finally on the participle in Albanian. This slide shows you the main categories of the verb. In the field of tense and aspect, Old Albanian distinguishes between the present, the imperfect, and the aorist. There is also a future, though it has no independent morphology. And the language possesses a perfect and a pluperfect. There are four different moods: the indicative, the subjunctive, the imperative, and the optative. Those here. And as regards voice, Albanian distinguishes active forms from non-active forms. Let's start with tense and aspect. This first category is the present tense. Its function is that of the non-past time reference. Here is an example of the present. John, uty te pagëzonj. John, I hereby baptize you. The sentence contains the present form pagëzonj, which refers to the immediate present, with the performative action to baptize. Here is another example. The sentence Lazari miku yn po në fle. Lazarus, our friend, is sleeping. The sentence contains the particle po, which is used to express simultaneity and progressivity in Albanian, much like the present continuous is working in English. The next tense aspect category which we present is the imperfect. It is used to render imperfective actions in the past. Here is an example of the imperfect. The use of the imperfect is quite similar to that of the imperfect in Romance languages, rendering the habitual past and the past continuous. Compare the sentence given here. Ish një njeri I begat, që në vishe ndë skarlat. Meaning there was a certain rich man who was dressed in purple. As you can see, it contains two imperfect forms, ish and nvishe, both referring to a past state. The next tense aspect category is the aorist, or in modern Albanian terminology, the simple perfect. This tense is used for perfective actions in the past. Hence, it stands in opposition to the imperfect, much like the simple past is contrasted with the imperfect in most Romance languages. Here is an example of the aorist. The sentence Iu aferuene trimat eti I foln ati. His servants approached and spoke to him. There are two third plural aorist forms here. The non-active form U aferuene, they approached, and active folne, they spoke. Both of these forms refer to punctual actions that move forward the narration. We move on to the next categories, the perfect and the pluperfect. These are two compound tenses formed with the auxiliaries have or be. The perfect is used for a completed action with relevance for the present, whereas the pluperfect refers to a completed action with past relevance. Here is our example of the perfect, the sentence Prashtu zotyn të ka bekuam për jetë të jetëse. Therefore our Lord has blessed you for all eternity. The perfect consists of the auxiliary form ka, he has, plus the participle bekuam of the verbal base beko, to bless. Ka bekuam. The completed action of blessing has present, indeed everlasting relevance for the beneficiary of the blessings. The next category is the pluperfect. Here we have an example given by the sentence U pedo zotun sekish bam nierin permbithet. God regretted that he had created mankind on the earth. The subclause that he had created is formed by the imperfect of to have, namely kish, and the participle bam of make, do. The past reference is caused by the non-active aorist u peduo, he regretted, in the main clause. Finally, we arrive at the future tense. This one refers to future actions, especially such which are expected or wanted to take place, or which in some way are regarded as unavoidable. Here is our first example. There are two major ways in which Albanian forms the future. In Tosc and in the modern standard language, an invariant form do is used, plus inflected forms of the subjunctive, which is introduced by the subjunctive particle t. The invariant form do is actually the third singular of the verb do, to want, but it has been petrified in this construction. Thus, in this example, the expression do te duas, which follows on the question word si, here, could etymologically be interpreted as it wants that you love. The next example comes from gag. Here we have what seems to be, historically, the older construction, where the future is formed by inflecting the verb ka, to have, and adding the gag infinitive, which consists of the preposition me, meaning with, plus the participle. Thus, kam mepim, in the first sentence, literally meant I have with drinking, I have to drink, which came to mean I will drink. Similarly, preterital kishne in kishne me ardun, this example makes for a past future, hence they were going to come. We now arrive at the category of voice, where Albanian opposes the active to the non-active, which is sometimes called the middle voice. Whereas the active is the unmarked form, the non-active either takes specific non-active endings or is made by adding the reflexive marker u to otherwise active forms. In the perfect, the auxiliary yam, to be, replaces active kam, to have. The non-active has a wide range of intransitive usages, including passives, impersonal verbs, reflexives, and reciprocals. Here are some examples of non-active forms derived from the verbs lan, to wash, semu, be ill, and do, want. When the verb base ends in a vowel, the consonant h is inserted before the endings in e or i, which here are m, it, and e, as in lahem, I am washed, I wash myself, semuhem, I fall ill, duhit, it is necessary, or lahi, wash yourselves. Note furthermore the change of o to u in duhet, do versus do. Now we move on to the moods. As far as verbal moods are concerned, besides the factual indicative, Albanian distinguishes a subjunctive, an imperative, and an optative. The imperative is used for commands, and the optative mainly for wishes and more remote possibilities. The subjunctive has a wider set of meanings, ranging from doubt via concession and condition to more deontic usages such as necessity and command. Here are examples with the subjunctive. The sentence "Ku te blem" expresses doubt. Where shall we buy? Ku te blem na kaq buke. Where shall we buy so many breads? A concessive subjunctive of to enter is found in the next clause. E ndok qish do shtëpi ju të hini, meaning and in whichever house you enter. we move on to the imperative. The imperative is exemplified here by the forms dëfto, show, and ep, to give, in the first sentence. Show yourself and give the offering. In the second sentence, mos më bdo, this expression with the imperative bdo, chase away, is preceded by the prohibitive particle mos, which, by the way, continues an Old Indo-European negation, as you find also in Greek me or Sanskrit ma. Now some examples with the optative. It is found here twice in the first sentence with the non-active form u uncilte, may it open up, may the earth open up, and fruitofte, may it produce, may it bear health. The optative of to be, the form klofte, is found in the famous quotation in the second sentence, let there be light. Klofte baam drita. Finally, we arrive at the participle. The participle is unmarked for tense, mood, and voice. As we have seen, the participle is used in periphrastic tenses, such as the perfect and the pluperfect, as well as in the admirative, which we will discuss in a different video. Furthermore, there are a number of converbial constructions, which employ the participle preceded by different prepositions. Restricting ourselves to Bezoeku's old gag language, these are the gag infinitive with the preposition me, as in the form medan, to give, on our example, the gerundive indicating contemporaneity, old gag toe lefduom, while praising, and the privative Albanian pa pan, without seeing. And that was it concerning the semantics of the verb in Old Albanian. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Faleminderit për vëmendjen tuaj. I thank you for your attention and hope to see you again in the next video on a very special verbal category, the admirative.